Hey guys, what's poppin'? Jacques Slade here, back with another unboxing, and today I've got something special for you. I am legitimately excited about what we have in the box today. This one is good. I do not own this pair of shoes. Big shout out to the homie Rich. His name on Instagram or Twitter is RichTalksKicks. He sent these over to me because I don't have them in my size, but these are his size. But more importantly, these shoes are what I would consider to be the future. They represent what the future of sneakers can actually or will actually look like. A lot of times we get shoes that are new and they feel great, they look great, but not often do they push the envelope. I have the distinct feeling that these will help push the envelope. Even if what we see here is not the final product that we see in what I would guess to be maybe 4 or 5 years as technology advances, this does represent something that I think will shift or change the way that sneaker brands think about sneakers and the way that they manufacture sneakers. And that's a big deal because sneakers have been pretty much made the same way for a very, very long time. And this will introduce a new dynamic that helps adjust and I don't say rechange, that was gonna be a bad word, and change the way that these brands look at doing things. So without further ado, let's jump into these. Again, big shout out to the homie Rich for giving me the opportunity to look at these. I love Rich. Rich is a new sneakerhead. He's just getting into the sneaker game and he's picking and choosing which shoes he wants, and he's picking the stuff that he likes, which is very important. So make sure you get what you like. And this happens to be a pair of shoes that he liked. I actually like these as well, but I just was not able to get my hands on a pair of these because they were super duper limited, unfortunately. So without further ado, let's open this up, take a look inside, and what do we have here? A very nice box from the good folks over at Adidas, or Adidas, if you're going to say it correctly. Really like this box. Black has these structures going across it, almost like a 3D printed. You can kind of feel a little bit of gloss there. And for some reason it has a handle. I guess if you're gonna carry your shoes around with you like a lunchbox, maybe that's a thing. I'm not so sure that I would do that, but I guess you can. Anyway, the shoe is the Adidas Futurecraft 4D. And as you see, it has the Adidas logo right there on the front for those that are into that sort of thing. So let's get into the box and look at the shoes, which is really the most important part of this whole video here. And there you go. Look at that. This is the Adidas Futurecraft 4D, and it is what I would consider to be a very, very beautiful shoe. Now, I wasn't actually going to do this unboxing, and the reason for that was because I feel like you guys have seen this shoe already. You've seen it a ton of times. Adidas talked about it, but like with everything that I do on this channel, when I do my unboxings, I wanted to bring some extra value to you. I wanted to do a little bit more. So as I usually do, I did a little bit of research and found out some things about these shoes that I definitely think you should know, and that if you're not a fan of these shoes yet, I think you will be by the end of this video, because there's some very, very cool stuff happening with this shoe. So take a look at these and find out a little more information. First of all, the shoes were made between Adidas and this company called Carbon. So Adidas approached Carbon, a 3D printing company, and asked them to help them make a shoe. And the result of that is this shoe, the Adidas Futurecraft 4D. Something that Adidas has been really great with, and the last 2 times it's worked out really well in their favor, is reaching out to other companies to help them improve what they're already doing. The biggest example of this is Boost. Boost is known as Infinergy. It's a product, the little beads are created by a company called BASF. Adidas licenses that technology from BASF and obviously uses it in the ultraboost and the energy boost and the crazy explosive and hardened shoes and all those sorts of basketball shoes. And the next step they're taking is reaching out to Carbon to make 3D printed outsoles. Now, 3D printed outsoles, that is something that's been happening for a very long time. With prototyping techniques that have been around for a while, you're able to 3D print what something will look like based on simulations inside of a computer. However, those prototypes were never really viable outside of the design room. You couldn't wear them outside. They weren't wearable. They weren't durable. However, Carbon is a very specific company that's focused on changing the perspective of 3D printed materials and making them more durable based on the resins that they use. They use these different resins that allow things to last a little bit longer. And with this, the 3D printed outsole, they've actually combined their resins with polyurethane, which is something that you guys hear about a lot in sneakers, and created an outsole that is durable enough for you to wear outside, and not only wear outside, but for you to actually perform in. So if you wanted to run in these shoes in a competition, or run a marathon, or run a 5K, or run a 40-yard dash, these shoes can withhold and stand up to that sort of abuse, which is a very big deal. And it's all based on the polymers and the resin that they use inside of this outsole. Now that's a very big deal. And the second part of that is this shoe was made 50 times. Now, that doesn't sound like it's a lot, but when you consider when brands generally prototype sneakers, that prototype process only allows for 4 to 5 different versions of that exact shoe. With this shoe, they were able to make 50. Not only that, they were able to work with Adidas, working on the density, working on the structure, and working on the durability of the shoe until they got it just right. And that's what you see here in front of you. And now all of that is great. All of that's like, cool, Jacques. They got a polymer and a polyurethane, and they made the shoe durable. But what does that matter to me? Well, the thing for you as a consumer, as a sneaker person, as someone that walks, someone that runs, they're able to customize this outsole so that it fits you on a one-to-one basis. Now, this one is not going to be able to do that. This one is more of a general outsole, but in the future, and this is why I'm so excited about this technology, is because in the future, you could literally go into a sneaker store, walk on some sort of machine that gets an image of your foot, your pressure points, how you disperse your energy when you're running, put you on a treadmill and make you run, and then after they're done, create an outsole that is a one-to-one fit for you. Now, to me, that is the ultimate of bespoke. A lot of times bespoke refers to the way a shoe looks, but to have a shoe that physiologically fits you on a one-to-one basis is huge. There is nothing going to be more comfortable than something that's made specifically for you. And with Carbon, they're able to do that sometime down the line. Now, that's not possible quite yet, but my thought and my vision for this technology is that in a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, let's say, that you'll be able to walk into a store and do just that. So the benefit of what Carbon has been able to do is combine different areas for responsiveness, durability, for flex, and all that into one shape. Now, a lot of times when you have those sort of different areas on a shoe, it's made of different parts. You can't do that all in one single piece. A lot of times what brands will do is they'll thin out a foam in order to try to mimic that process, but it isn't necessarily a true change in responsiveness, density, and durability. However, with Carbon, because it's, I would say, because the resin, because the way that they make this, it's programmable, they can do that with the outsole. And you see that in what they call lattices. The lattices change as you go from the heel to the midfoot and then to the toe. So all of these have different properties as far as how they respond to pressure, how they rebound, and how durable they are. And that's all based on this resin that they were able to create that allows for that sort of change. So technically, if you are an elite runner, which this shoe was made for, this has the general, I would say general settings, not a one-to-one setting because it's made in general, a general setting for what you would expect in a shoe based on running form, based on your conditioning, and based on the distances that you run. Now that is a huge deal. You can imagine this being made for basketball. You can imagine this being made for tennis. Imagine this for football. Imagine this for soccer. And obviously they're already doing it for running, allowing the technology to be customizable to the athlete is something that's next level. You hear it all the time about these, it's customizable to you, and it's really just the way that the upper is shaped or the way that the upper moves. But to have the outsole, which is really one of the most important components of a shoe, because that's what literally all the pressure is going on a shoe, to be able to customize that to you as an athlete is something out of this world. And with carbon, they've done it in the outsole, and this technology can be used in a ton of different places. I know that I'm ranting and raving about this, and I'm sound like a bit of a fanboy, but as a guy that loves sneakers and as someone that gets excited about technology, seeing Adidas implement this in this way along with carbon really, I don't know, it makes me think of some very cool things that could be done in the future. These were only limited to 300 pairs. They're only available right now on the resale market. Adidas just did a version of these shoes with the Alpha Bounce. If you want to get that same sort of 3D outsole or 3D printed outsole, the Futurecraft 4D is next level. Super excited about it, as you guys can tell. Anyway, with that being said, I am Jacques Slade. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something in the process. I know I was ranting and raving, but I just really hope you guys learned something in the process and it gets you excited for the future. And I hope it pushes brands to really push the envelope of what they're able to do to make things better for all of us. Anyway, I'm Jacques Slade. As always, I appreciate you. Make sure you stay tuned because I got something really cool coming up for you guys in the next couple days. And with that being said, I will see you soon. I appreciate you guys. Peace.